A bomb from Ian Rappaport just earlier this week has, some people like maybe the Green Bay Packers running to the phones because Jalen Ramsey and the Dolphins are expected to explore trade options, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he played anywhere else in 2025. He wasn't the only one that reported it. Slick Rick Scoops last Friday said breaking, big trade for the Dolphins. Dolphins are trading away an all-pro player, #GoFin. So if you guys don't follow Slick Rick, he had this scoop about 4 days before anybody else officially had it. He's a really good follow. You know who else is a really good follow? I am on social media. Not to toot my own horn, but you can find me at Joey Petersen 8. You can also find that exact link to my Twitter account right under the big description. Also, it's going to be in the comments as well. You can click it right there. And the first 5 followers I get from this video will get a shout out on a video very soon, probably in the next couple of days. So make sure you guys follow me right there, Joey Petersen 8, for daily content on your Green Bay Packers. So the thing about a Jalen Ramsey trade is it seems like it would be a little bit higher. However, you kind of look at what it might be and who he is and his age and this past year, and you kind of realize I don't think that the trade cost is that high, because just a few years ago when the Rams traded the Dolphins to get rid of Jalen Ramsey, they got Hunter Long and they got a 3rd-round pick, and that was 2 years ago. Well, now he's 2 years older. He's 2 years veteran, and he turns $31, or it's not $31, he turns 31 years old this year, and he's also expensive to cap it onto that, so you're going to have to find a team willing to take on that salary, and so the trade price I don't think is going to be as high as people probably initially believe it's going to be. When you look at his contract, how it sits right now, his cap hit in 2025 is $16.70 million. The 2025 new team cap will be 9.82. The 2026 new team cap will be 18.2. The 2025 new team cash will be $21.10 million. And the dead money in 2026 goes to 15.18. It's a lot of dollars and cents. And here's Spotrac. Try to make it make a little bit more sense for you guys. The dead cap structure on the deal makes a trade before June 1st complicated, as the Dolphins would stand to take on $29.2 million, a $12.5 million cap loss. If the trade is processed after June 1st, that $29.2 million would be split as $10.7 million in 2025, $18.5 million in 2026, representing a $5.9 million cap savings for the upcoming season. So because of all of that and the cap situation that Miami currently is, it's not in a good place whatsoever. I think it's very safe to assume that if he is traded, and when he is traded, it will be after June 1st, which is kind of a bummer for Miami because they're not going to get any of this year's draft capital for that, but it does them so much better in saving money in the long run. So we're here to talk about Green Bay. And as of right now, Green Bay actually has top 10 odds to land Jalen Ramsey. They sit at number 9th, and if you look at all the other ties, it's basically like they sit at number 7 because both Dallas and San Francisco are tied at plus 700. Both Tampa Bay and Los Angeles are tied at plus 1,200, and then you see Green Bay at plus 1,400. So it's not incredibly likely, but as everybody loves in the movie Dumb and Dumber, he says, so you're saying there's a chance? And yes, I am. So let me know in the comment section down below, should the Packers trade for Jalen Ramsey? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get down in the comment section right now and let me know your answer. So if you look at how the last 4 seasons have gone for Jalen, they've been pretty good. He played in only 10 games in 2023 due to an injury and played in all 17 games this year. Took a little bit of a step back in 2024. When you look at the coverage stats, they were nowhere near as good as they used to be, nowhere near what they used to be. A 70.8 completion percentage allowed, 546 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 93.5. But we're here to talk trade, right? And per Nick Roloff, who is our Dolphins insider right here at Chat Sports, he said, and I quote, "I believe Ramsey at best could go for a 3rd, but will likely be a 4th or a 5th round pick." And so there you have it, folks. If you want a guy like if you want a guy like Jalen Ramsey in that cornerback room, it would cost you likely a 4th or a 5th round pick. And right now, when you look at Green Bay's cornerback room, as it sits when we record this video, who knows if something's going to happen with Jair Alexander over the next couple of days. He's still sitting at that left cornerback spot. Keyshawn Nixon on his right side. Nate Hobbs, the most recent addition in NFL free agency. Well, if Jair Alexander exits, that leaves a massive hole. And so could Jalen Ramsey be the guy that they want to fill that? So let's take this trade idea. Let me show you this trade idea based on everything that we've heard about Jalen Ramsey and based on what our Dolphins insider said about a possible trade. I'm looking at Jalen Ramsey for a 2026 5th-round pick, straight up. All righty, maybe you could convince me to bump that up to a 4th. But like when I look at that, for the kind of player that Jalen Ramsey is, the dog that Jalen Ramsey is, it's not a bad trade, honestly. I think it would surprise a lot of people that that's probably going to be the going rate, but you have to take into account you're going to have to pay him, and he's turning 31 years old. And if we know anything about Father Time, A, he's undefeated, and B, he's especially mean to cornerbacks because the older they get, the less speed, quickness, short area quickness that they have, and it kind of makes it a little bit harder for them to do their jobs. So if you saw that trade request, would you accept that? If you would, go ahead and type A for accept in the comment section down below. And if you wouldn't, go ahead, give me a D, but don't just do that. Let me know why right now. So unfortunately, this thing's going to come all the way down to the money. And as we sit right now, Green Bay's not in a bad spot at all. They are top 10 in salary cap currently for the 2025 NFL season. But when talking about purchases made, especially big ones like a Jalen Ramsey deal, you got to look to the future because they've got a lot of really good free agents, a lot of really key free agents coming out in 2026. Devontae Wyatt, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Zach Tom, Kingsley Enagbare, Rasheed Walker, Emmanuel Wilson. A lot of guys who might, Green Bay might want to pay, might want to keep around. And if you add a guy like Jalen Ramsey, add on his cap space, add on his cap number, that doesn't help you do that. And as much as I love Ramsey, and I do, I can promise you that, I don't think Green Bay should, take on the contract of an aging cornerback when they have young guys to pay. Especially when, as we're recording this, you still have an aging cornerback that has an injury issue on your same team. And so, if you're having troubles with Jair Alexander on this roster, I don't necessarily think it makes sense to bring on Jalen Ramsey, right? Especially like I talked about when you got the looming contract extensions in 2026. Any of these guys could be extended at any time. Quay Walker, Zach Tom, those are two guys I definitely think will get extended, especially if Quay Walker has another step up this next season. But out of Doubs, Watson, or Wicks, those three guys, I don't see a world where they don't at least extend one of them. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they ended up extending two of them. That's just all going to, play itself out over the course of this season. So now you got to look to the draft for cornerback, okay? And we talked about these guys a ton. And we're going to continue talking about them until Thursday night is over next week. So as of right now, you got one round one cornerback option, in my opinion. That's Jahdae Barron. But then the round two, the second round is absolutely ripe with talent. Trey Amos, Siobhan Revel Jr., Maxwell Harrison, and Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. All four of those prospects could realistically fall to you at number 54. And all four of those prospects, I think, could come in here and compete to be the starter on this roster if you do see Jair Alexander hit that door. However, if round one stays and you're at number 23 and Jahdae Barron is still there, I'm not wasting a second in drafting him. So be honest for me. Comment section down below. What's the % chance that Ramsey gets traded to the Packers? Scale it for me 1 to 100 in the comment section. I don't think it's incredibly high, but of course, I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because we are so close to the NFL draft. I've got it covered right here on the Packers Report, so do not miss a second. If you love the Green Bay Packers, if you love talking about them, listening about them, watching them every single day, you found the right place. Now lock us in. Let's make it official. Hit that sub button.